Welcome. My name is Carolyn and I am a ghost healer. For the past 30 years I've been helping dead people, the ones caught in the space between this world and the next. I've documented many of the hauntings and I've often made drawings of the souls who I've helped. I'm now ready to share these stories with you. We all have a story, and these stories belong to the lost souls who I've helped on their way. Today, I'd like to tell you a story about a ghost that was haunting a house, a little thatched cottage in Dorset in England. Now, I was invited by the family that lived there to try and help them. They had got a bit fed up, I think, of the really intense atmosphere in the place, but also someone running up and down the stairs in the middle of the night and the landing. It was just, they'd had enough. So I arrive, I'm welcomed in, and immediately I'm feeling the problems of this ghost, and my legs are just aching. My muscles are like a dense gnawing pain, and the joints on my knees and my ankles and my hips are all feeling quite heavy. And then I see her, and she looks older than her years, in her teens. And then I began to get the sight on one of my eyes in the corner was getting misty, which I think obviously I was picking up on her issues. And then I could see parts of her life, and I could smell the place from back in the 1600s. You know, I could smell the damp earth, the smells of sort of a bit of cooking, the damp smell, and you know, the sweat and the toil that would have gone on living in that small space. And then I could see that there were two hard winters, two bad seasons, and the community would have really suffered. Although the community was much bigger then, the harvests 2 years in a row being bad, it would have been impacted them greatly. But this community was strong, and they looked after one another, and they got through it. But this family, now the father figure that I see, he was too proud to accept charity. And I could see him walking past his daughter that I'm tuning in with, and he couldn't bear to look at her. It was like he couldn't look at the fact that she was really struggling to pull herself off the ground to get up and help her mum and look after her little brother. So he just was no, I'm not accepting any help, and don't you complain to me about how you're feeling. So it must have been really intense. And for her mother, who seemed to be such a sweet soul, watching her children get sicker and sicker, especially this girl in her teens, must have been very difficult for her. And then I could see a sweeter moment with her mum, and her mum was reading her stories, which she loved. And there were stories about seafarers and their adventures, and, you know, they would have been the same old stories over and over again. But it was a moment where she could lose herself in these lovely tales, and they'd be the same ones over and over again. And it was as if it lifted her from her aching legs and her misty eye and the hardship that she was enduring constantly. And the father that wouldn't accept help, that was too proud, you know, it was all there for them. If only he would have said, yes, please, can we have help? Anyway, I feel like she died in that house, and, you know, the anxiety that she would have felt and not being able to get help, and was getting sicker, and the pain, all of that, the family who lived there now would have picked up on everything. So I was able to make a nice quiet moment for myself and this ghost, and I helped to move on, which was quite an intense experience and very humbling. And it was a relief to see her moving on, free of these painful legs and the hardship of a difficult life. And thanks for listening.